to, give out everybody the opportunity again. I see some of my beta testers, Joe, and some other people in here that are, that have been with me for a long time, and obviously some new people. So that's always fun. So tonight we're going to be talking about wholesale, what we've done, what we don't do, and how we've made it, I hope super amazing for our users. And we're going to give you guys the opportunity to be one of them. So with that, we're going to talk about wholesale. So any wholesale questions you can put down in the chat, or hopefully hit that Q&A button either in the bottom or one of your top corners. And I've had a love-hate relationship, we could say, with wholesale for a very, very long time. It's just, I always just thought it was, super hard. And, as far as Amazon goes, it was, always a nightmare for us. I love doing arbitrage, retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, and all that awesome stuff. So, so what we've done, and, I kind of followed along with, what some of the other people were doing, and we kind of found, what I like to call reverse wholesale sourcing, which means that we've gone out and instead of, the nightmare that I always thought it was to, open wholesale accounts with either random companies or travel to trade shows and conferences and, just set up an account with every company we possibly could, manufacturers or distributors. We've instead, kind of figured out that, it was just horrible for us. So, we'd set up accounts with dozens of places. Maybe they had a list of their products, a CSV file we could use with tactical arbitrage or OEX-ray, one of those kind of tools that, we could then maybe hopefully figure out some products that were worth selling on Amazon. The most of the time, that just wasn't the case. So, we kind of figured out how to, kind of turn that whole idea on its head. And I'm going to show you how we've done that in a minute. But, we figured out that, obviously it was a much smarter idea, to reverse that process, go and find products that were already selling on Amazon, and then kind of work our way backwards to find the places that were selling those, either, a distributor or usually just contacting the manufacturer, unless it's a super big company like 3M or, whatever, Lego, then we could probably, make some kind of deal with those manufacturers so we could buy direct. And then eventually we were able to figure out, with a lot of ideas and feedback from our, early beta testers, we were able to figure out how to do that, and grow that into what we've done today. And I think it's amazing what I'm going to show to you. So with that, I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. Ron, if you have a question, you can just hit the Q&A. I'm the only one who can see that, or you can post in the chat. And if you don't have the chat, there's a button at the bottom that says chat, so you'll be able to see what everyone else is saying as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. And so what we've put together is something called Sourcing Secret. Hopefully you can all see that here. Obviously, as it says, are you ready to find the best-selling products on Amazon? Well, we have, and I'm going to show you how you can access it as well. So you can master it in a day. It's not like all those other tools that, take hours of training, and, even some tools that I won't mention that, I've had to pay, thousands of dollars for training myself on just how to use those tools. We've created a tool that I want, and that most of you probably want as well. So, everything's self-explanatory. Everything's, a one-click to get, what you want, or the most, a couple, click to where you want to go and then click on what you want. There's not a ton of stuff to learn. Just get what you want so we can get back to what's really important, and that's making money on Amazon. And what's important to me is helping you make money on Amazon. So at first, I just wanted to find a good company to source from. You know, I went back and forth, as I said before, with you know, dealing with Amazon as far as doing retail arbitrage, wholesale, online arbitrage. I just loved, you know, and I still do love doing that. But you know, it gets hard when you're, you know, selling hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. When you get to that point, or even if you're at the point of selling thousands of dollars a year, to constantly be hunting for those products. You know, and you know, obviously going to the stores and hunting for them as well does get to be hard, because once you're making so much money, you know, wholesale really is the next step where you can keep investing that money and finding more stuff. So, you know, if you find one wholesale company, or what I put here as an example, 4 wholesale, I want to find one, but finding 4 wholesale companies you can make $500 a week from, which is super easy. That's $2,000 a week for 4 of them, $8,300 a month, $100,000 a year. Just finding out of 4 sources that you can make $500 from. So my goal was, if you want to sell wholesale, if you sell wholesale, you know, we made a vision, goal, plan, action, and you know, to take you to success. It's you know, that's my only goal. I've made lots of tools. I do lots of free training, and you know, if you followed me for any point at a time, we don't ever create crap. We don't like abandon projects. We don't you know, leave anybody hanging. And I have a big team that's always there to help you guys out. And you know, if you didn't believe that, I probably don't think you would be on here anyway. So the difference is, we're not choosing random companies with hopes of selling good items. We're looking at the top selling stores on Amazon and the items that they sell. And we get you the contact information for those brands. So in essence, we're only looking at the top selling items. We're going to take the top 100,000 products in the 23 categories that we can do arbitrage in, and we're going to pull those 100,000 items, find the brands, see how many items those brands are selling, and only the items in the top 100,000. And then we're going to get you the contact information for those brands so you can open up an account. In essence, that's what we do. That's one small part of what we've done. But it, you know, it takes that whole process, turns it on its head, and makes it super simple. So if you don't know me, you probably all do. I've been selling on Amazon since 2012. I'm a Amazon coach. I've helped hundreds, if not thousands, of people to grow their business with our hundreds of thousands of viewers on, you know, on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else our videos have been published to. We really, you know, have no idea the amount of people that I help. I get emails every day from people who are, you know, who give me their stories of watching our videos. So, you know, we help as many people as we can. I have a whole team that, you know, that helps me to help you guys. So, you know, we're just not making tools and selling them, you know, just to make a few dollars. You know, I'm out there every day trying to help people grow their business. I've created books on selling on Amazon, books on coloring books, of course. I'm the creator of Sourcing Secrets, the Step Ahead Tactical Sourcing Tool. If you use that, find coupons for, you know, we go through about 1,000 emails a day, about 30,000 emails a month, just finding every deal that's out there from all the stores we do arbitrage with, over 1,000 different stores. We've done a lot of things right. You know, I'm very focused on, you know, on masterminds, people who can help me grow my business, higher level strategies. Omar Martin is one of those that, you know, so I don't expect you to just join my mastermind. I make ideas, but, you know, I'm in multiple masterminds. Omar Martin sold over $8 million in information products. And he's one of my mentors that's always helping me, you know, so don't be afraid to ask for help. You know, we go to events, we rent limos, we take people to parties, any of our mastermind members. You know, it's part of what we do. Obviously, I've done, you know, some things wrong. We all have. But after doing this for 3 years, attending trade shows, hoping to find prospects, I went to dozens of trade shows last year. Spent time away from my family, spent some time with my family. And this year I've been focusing on you know, helping our users. And, you know, I got so tired of, you know, doing this, going to trade shows and conferences and, you know, trying to find wholesale, you know, that I spent the better part of a year now building this tool so I don't have to do that anymore. Because it was really a nightmare, getting business cards, getting lists, then processing all that to find nothing that was of value, or, you know, one or two items. When, you know, there was millions of items already selling on Amazon that we could have been looking at, but we kind of wasted our time doing that. So yeah, wasting time. Weed through all those products and hope to find one, maybe find a few to sell, never meeting my goals. I discovered the top sellers the hard way through a lot of work. As I said, we've been building this for the last year. You get to cheat and find it the easy way. I mean, what we sell this for is, you know, a tiny fraction of the development costs that I spent having multiple developers working on this tool for over a year now. So the hard way is attending trade shows or Googling your niche, setting up wholesale accounts, hoping and praying that they have a digital list to search. If not, you know, looking products up manually, hundreds or thousands of them sometimes, and get lucky if they have something worth buying. So do you want the easy way that we've discovered to turn this whole process on its head? Awesome. I wasn't waiting. I was just trying to bring up the next. My screen froze for a minute. Sorry. Let me just. Sorry, guys. So in the past few years, I found few companies to source good items from, and I didn't have a top seller list. So there's 3 secrets that we found. The first secret is obviously to find the top selling products. Stop looking for companies, I mean, seemingly at random to source from, right? I mean, that should be, you know, in retrospect, it's common sense, but I mean, if you're not doing that, I wasn't doing it either. So, you know, I'm not calling you dumb, but I was doing the same thing. So, you know, when we discovered looking for top selling products, then, you know, everything changed. So we find the top selling products. You know, there's 23 categories that we can really sell in, not counting, you know, the digital products and, you know, Amazon, you know, tablets and all that. So we got that. We go back and we pull so that's 23 categories times 100,000 products. We go back in and pull all the top selling, all the brands out of them. So that's 2.3 million items we're processing and updating every 24 hours. Then we find the top selling brands, pull those out of there, and then we count them. I mean, you know, it seems crazy, but we just count how many there are. So now we know that Lego has has over 800 different products in the toy category. Nobody knew that. If you went to Amazon and searched for Lego, you know, you're going to have thousands of things. You'll probably have your full 400 pages, but of results. But we don't know if those sold. So we're only looking at the products that are either currently selling in the top 100,000 or very recently sold in the top 100,000. And then your next step is just open an account. You look at the ones you like, you open the account. So secret 1, find the top selling products on Amazon. With Sourcing Secret, you can view the top 100,000 products in every category that you do arbitrage. There's 23 of them, you know, toys, video games, books, you name it. There's 23 of them, and you can look at every subcategory. So I haven't counted them. I know there's at least thousands, probably tens of thousands. We did count just to see what there was in toys. There's over 560 subcategories just in toys. And you can download any subcategory. You can download as many of them as you want. You can subscribe to them, whatever you want to do. Next is find the top selling brands. So we download the top 100,000 products. We extract the brand information. We count the brands. and then we open an account. You have items that are proven. You have items that you know sell. You know that they're profitable because they're selling. You can research the brand products. You can download a list of every brand, of every product for that category, for that brand in one list, and then you can research and decide if you want to open that account. There's no reason to open an account if it's something you don't want to sell. So many people I know are wasting, tens and hundreds of hours a week or a month to open accounts with companies that they're never going to sell from or buy from to sell on Amazon. But once you decide if you want to do that, then you can contact them. A lot of these companies, it may be a fight to open an account, but we know if we want to buy from them or not before we ever bother to start. If it's worth buying, it's worth your time. It's worth a phone call. It's worth multiple emails. But you don't even have to waste your time doing it if you don't know, then, oh, well, I would say, well, hey, I don't need this account. I don't even know what they have. There's a million other places I can contact, and I move on. But now I know what what there is worth selling on Amazon before I contact them. So I'm not going to contact them if it's not worth it. But if it is worth it, I'm going to put the time in to make sure I get that account open. If I want it, I'm going to get it. And there's very few companies that you can't get an account with if you're persistent enough. Yes, can you feel that money? Now, you guys ready to see how it all works? I'm going to pop over here. Awesome. Hope you're still all with me. This is what you see when you log in. This is what I've created with over a year. And thanks to our beta testers, lots of feedback. We've grown from a product that I never planned on selling to something that is amazing. And almost every feature you see here, no other product is creating. I didn't create something that everybody else was doing. I feel that's always a waste of time when I see 20 products that are doing the same thing. I don't see a point. So what I do with everything I've ever created is try and what I try to do is create a product here that does what nobody else is doing. Almost every feature you're going to see here, nobody else is doing. So the first thing you can do is you can select, for one thing, depending on what you're doing, we support either 9 or 11 different platforms. So if you know the node, nodes are the ID for a certain category. If you know the node ID, you can look up any category or subcategory from any of these 11 platforms, US, UK, Germany, or whatever it is. So if you don't know the nodes, and we're going to add this over time, every few days we've been adding a new platform. We always had US, obviously, but we've added the UK and Canada over the next week, and we're going to add the other 9 platforms as well. It just takes a lot of time, because we have to add each thing by hand, but once it's there, it's always there in a auto update. So the 3 most popular platforms are the US, UK, and Canada. So we just added UK and Canada. In the UK and Canada, you can now download the top 100,000 category, the top 100,000 products updated every day in any of these categories. So the US has 23, Canada has 25, and then the UK has somewhere in the 30, 34, I believe. And that's any main category. Now in the US, there's some additional things that you can do, which will be added to all the other platforms as well. But you have 23 categories in the US. You can select any category, and you can download a list of the top 100,000 products. And everything is downloads in practically a second. So this is Industrial and Scientific. This is kind of our most prolific one, the one that the users seem to have the most interest in. So you can select any category, you can hit download, and as you can see, as you can see here, it downloads that fast. And what we've done is split them into 25,000 line files. They're a lot easier to manage. And if you're using Tactical Arbitrage, OA X-Ray, Scan Power, any of the other products to compare to Amazon or other stores, they all mostly have a limit of 25,000. So we split it up so you don't have to do any additional work. You can download this file, upload it directly into those platforms without even having to open it. But you can also subscribe to this and many other parts. So when you hit the subscribe button, it's going to go into, it'll be added to your settings, and then every day you're going to get an email with the newest version of these files. So you don't even have to come in here and look at this every day. You just automatically get that email. You can forward it to your VAs. You can, run it with other software, whatever you want to do. I like to use these files in Tactical Arbitrage as well. I'll upload these into the reverse search, and then it will look at the 500 plus stores and try and find places, to buy that meeting my qualifications. It does very well for us for that. So going back to industrial, now you can download the main category, but you can also download any of the subcategories. Sorry, before we jump ahead. Yeah, Christoph, we actually have all, there are 11 different platforms. There will be 12. We're working on Australia as well. They're all in the works. So over the next couple of weeks, I would say we will have at least all the main categories done for all of the platforms. Everything you see here is already in the queue, and my developers are building it. So we've done the US, UK, Canada, Germany is next, but we will be able to do China and Brazil are the smallest. They have a very limited amount of categories, but we've already translated all the main category names. That was a bit of a feat in itself. So so now we're going to be bringing them in. So over the next 2 weeks or so, you will see all of these added into Sourcing Secret. So back to the categories. So if we go to here, now you can see the subcategories. We have actually gone in and we have pulled in every subcategory. So some of them go 8 or 9 categories deep. So under industrial and scientific, there's abrasives, and then under abrasive and fishing, there's abrasive accessories, and then abrasive dressing tool. So that's just 4 categories deep. We've seen some that go 7, 8, 9 categories deep. Especially books, and we've seen a lot of that in toys. So as deep as it goes, it's there. You have the same process to download that. If you want to download the top products in that category, it will go up to 5,000. As I'm sure you know, a lot of those subcategories maybe only have dozens, or some of them have hundreds. So not everything has 5,000, but we get whatever Amazon returns to us. So then you can just hit the download button there, and you're going to download a list of the top ASINs for that subcategory, as you can see there. And you can subscribe to any subcategory as well. You just hit that subscribe button, and it's added to your subscription, so you get an updated one every single day. Now, if you're here for Wholesale, which I assume all of you are, this is where, all this stuff is cool and it's great, but the real magic happens in my mind when we go into the brand section. So once we select the category, we can click on brands, and then, we did something awesome here, really. So we go and we pull the amount of products for each brand. So, there's no other way that I know of, or anybody I've ever talked to really knows of, to be able to pull the number of items there are for each category. Like, nobody knew there was, 800 plus Lego products for that brand in the top 100,000, or, we see here 3M has over 1,000. So what we've done is we went back, we pulled that data, and then you can select any product that you see. I'm sorry, any brand that you see. And then I'm going to move this to 100 so we can see a little bit more info. So we can select and you can select any of these now. You can select one or multiple categories to highlight, and then it's going to give you a download with all the products that are under this brand. So this is giving you the average price, the average buy box price, and the average rank, and the number of products. Now, if you see the ones with the check mark, this is going to let you get that product information immediately. If it has a check mark, let me try reloading this. So this will give you contact information. I can tell you the biggest, the bigger the brand, the less data that they want to give you. Like when we contact the manufacturers that have a small amount of products on Amazon, like maybe 5 or 10 or 20, they'll usually have, you know, obviously usually a website. This particular company didn't give us website information, but, you know, contact name, phone number, email, all that, because they'll have somebody specifically for setting up wholesale accounts. But when we start talking to you know, bigger, you know, 3M or, you know, this company is probably a pretty big company. They don't give out that information. You know, they may not have a single person, maybe a whole department. So there's no specific contact information. But when we contact the smaller ones, they'll have, you know, Joe Smith is, you know, sets up our wholesale, is the manager of our wholesale division, and you can, you know, they'll give us names and phone numbers, and we'll have that information for you as well. But if you see one that doesn't have contact information, that'll be a question mark. So if you want, so what we've done is create a queue system for all of our users. And this is all user fed. Every check mark you see, somebody's probably requested that data. So you as well can request up to 20 at a time. Each user account can request up to 20 companies for contact information. So that doesn't mean a day, you know, or a month or a year or anything like that. What we've done is we allow you to request up to 20 at a time. So you hit that question mark. Okay, interesting question, Jeff. If you hit that that question mark, it adds it to your queue, and we usually are able to fill this within 24 hours. I have a whole team that does this for all of our users, so it's kind of user-driven. The more you request, the bigger the database is going to be, and it's going to be more helpful for everybody. If we don't get requests, we just kind of go out and search for brands randomly to add, which I don't think helps anybody. So, you know, request as much as you want. We do have that limit of 20. If you need a little bit more, we're more than happy to work with you. But we've done that so somebody can't request 100 or 1,000 of them, and then your 1,000 requests are going to be in front of everybody else's because we do them in order. So, you know, that's the only reason. You know, if you have a more active company and you need 25 a day or 30 a day or whatever it is, you know, get with us. We're more than happy to accommodate most requests. So if the information isn't there, we're more than happy to add it for you. I'll get to you. So Jeff had said it would help if you can search all the brands so we can find the one we want faster. The search function only works with brands that are on the current page. I'll have to look into that. That may be a bug with your account. I don't think that. I'm not going to say you're wrong, but if you use the company section, you can search the whole list. I know that for sure. So when you want to see, you know, so the way I use this is I'm going to search for the category, and then I'm going to look for the brands that I like, and then when I'm ready to actually see what they have, I download that list, and then I can see all the information. I can see the ASIN and this, the UPC brand, obviously, you know, title, buy box price, if there is one. If you see a blank, that means there's no buy box price. These are all pretty high-end, looks like pretty big products too. Bookcases and shelves and things like that. So we can see they're pretty high priced. The ranks are quite good. We also are showing if Amazon is, this is something we're working on, but you know, all the data seems to be true. We're just trying to be able to get full data on every product. Amazon does not like returning this kind of information if they're, you know, if you're going to be competing with them or not. So we're doing all we can to get this on every product. But as you can see, we have it on a lot of them. So you can see as a snapshot if you're going to be competing with them or if you've ever competed with them, as well as this is a direct link. It'll even show you the products if it's something that Amazon is hiding that ASIN for any reason, as well as keep a link to go there and check it out. So we give you a lot of data as much as we can, and we're always adding based on user requests. So and then as well as the average price and the average sales rank. Yeah, is there training material on how to use the tool so you can have a VA use it? Yes, if you're not in the Facebook group, Sourcing Secret, you can shoot me a PM, I can add you, or you can just search for it. There is, we've done quite a few webinars on training, you know, not like this, but actual training webinars, as well as every new feature we add, we make a video. We also have them all on YouTube, and we have links to a playlist on YouTube where you can watch all those videos. And it is working on, we are adding the features as, we'll have little pop-up videos as well that we're adding right into the software. So, you know, we're doing all we can to train you. And we have done some videos, and we're going to be doing more videos on using the software, you know, each section, like using it for wholesale, or using it with tactical arbitrage, or using it for, you know, any of those type of tools. So there's a lot of those features there. So I'm going to jump over to the Companies tab. Now the Companies tab is very similar to this, but you can select any category, and then the industrial that we were just looking at has 3,193 different brands in it so far. So all this page is for is if you want to just set up accounts. You don't want to see what their content is. You don't want, you know, you're not worried about products we haven't gotten information on. So if we're looking at industrial, there's over 31, almost 3,200 different ones. You can just go here, select the select your brand, and open up your account. So if we just click on it, you'll see it's the same data pops up, and you can just select your information from there. And then you can just select any category you want to switch to. You can also, you know, you can search in here. This does search the whole thing. I'll work on my developer with the question Jeff had asked. So, so that makes it super simple. And then the next feature, if nobody has any questions on this, we do have a store feature. And what this does is this actually supports 9 platforms instead of 11. China and Brazil, it doesn't work with, but this is going to let you download the top 100,000 stores from any of these platforms. So you can select any of them that you like. And it'll let you download a list that has the store IDs and the top 100,000 stores with the links and their store ID. If you have a store ID, which is in the URL of every store, you can just put it into, you can post it right in here, and you'll be able to download that directly. Or you can download the list of the top 100,000. You download it that quick, and then you can download it right onto your computer. You can also subscribe to this and any other platform. Sorry, let me just mute my phone. Then we can actually go to the storefront. So we hit the storefront button. It's going to load it in the page on screen, and we've pulled a lot of awesome data here. So it was actually loading 100,000 items on one page. Obviously, that's going to take some time. We split it into 10 pages of 10,000, so you can look at it 1 through 10,000, 10 through 20, etc. But this is going to show you the top 10,000 sellers. And then what you can do here is it's going to show you how many products they have, up to 100,000 items, their store ID, their seller name, if they're selling FBA or not, which was huge for us because, you know, our prices are completely different if we're going to be competing with another FBA seller or if it's merchant fulfilled. If it's only merchant fulfilled sellers, you know, we'll sell at 15 to 30% higher than we normally would. You know, and still be able to get the buy box, still get a lot more sales. You can also subscribe to this and download this. So this is a top an ASIN list. And I know a lot of other tools are a lot slower, but we're accessing all the data through, you know, the backend server, through the API. So, you know, some of those are just pulling the data through the pages. You know, some can only get what Amazon shows, which, you know, is, you know, usually for a seller storefront, it's only 100 pages. So that's like 1,200 items. We can pull up to 100,000 items, and it's an instant download. You know, you can sort it by, you know, seller name or the number of products or whatever it is. We have it sorted by rating. So the items are rated based on, you know, your feedback, just like you and I have feedback on our store. Whoever has the highest feedback, and most of these are book sellers. I'd say in the top 10 and 20 are mostly book sellers and media sellers that really aren't Amazon sellers. The wireless company, I think, is pretty new to this list, and they don't have very many products. So I'm assuming that's a pretty big company. I've never seen their store, but you can see most of these are book. Oh, we're looking at Canada as well. Are mostly bookstores, book and media stores. So you know, if you want to be looking at, you know, to see what your competition's selling, and you can just punch in your competitor's storefront, or you can look at the top ones, and, you know, we'll do reverse searches on Amazon for a lot of these as well. All right, so I'm gonna flip back over here. So we found items that are proven, found the profitable items. We researched brands, contact the brands. You know, and the big question is, which I had to ask myself, which instead of going to trade shows, I put the money and a lot more into developing, you know, a tool. So I didn't have to spend the time and money traveling to trade shows to maybe find a winning product, which, you know, I'm sure you know most of them aren't if you've done it. So in the past hour, would you agree it's been time well spent so far? We can't cover everything that it's done. You know, I've done hours and hours of webinars, you know, showing you all the things we can do. I mean, we use it to compare it to Amazon. We do reverse search with tactical arbitrage. We use it to find products to sell. We, you know, we look at other sellers. We look at sellers that we see as competition on our listings. There's just so many ways that we're using this. Obviously, you don't have to use them all. If you're doing retail arbitrage, it's good. If you're doing online arbitrage and using tactical arbitrage or OXray or, you know, even Price Checker 2 or any of those, then you know, you can use it for all these things, but you don't have to. You know, using it just for wholesale is still amazing. Using it just for arbitrage is amazing. So what we've done is we've recently, you know, launched the full version of this. So we have I have a great deal. So who has this worked for so far? We've been beta testing for 6 months and had a lot of pre-sale users. So new sellers who want to get into wholesale, wholesalers looking for a new and better way to streamline their processes, anyone who wants to ramp up their sourcing process and make serious money. This is all for you. If you're an online arbitrage user, it works amazingly well. If you're doing retail arbitrage, and using software to find those leads, it works well. If you're using, and if you just want to do wholesale, it works well. If you want to spy on your competition, we've made this for everything that we do, but I don't expect everybody to do what we do. So I had two choices: go to as many trade shows as possible, call in as many businesses as possible. It never incentivized me that I was onto something, because I never thought that I was. Or the second option was to reverse my process, turn the whole idea on its head of sourcing, starting with successful products, finding the source, and in exchange devoting my time to already successful products that can guarantee your success. So, that's what we've done. I built a tool, that I would want to use. It's the only thing I ever make, is things that we want to use ourselves, because I do it. And then, if it's successful, then we start sharing it with other users. So if all this did was save you the time of sourcing blind, would it be worth it? Save you the money on traveling and trade show fees, grant you the opportunity to open accounts with proven selling companies and their price. I would pay practically unlimited amount of money, and I'm not asking you to do that, to spend more time with my family. I mean, my family is what's, important to me. When I do travel now, I always take them with me. It's, the extra expense is worth it, because, I started this business, and I think a lot of you have as well, to have more time with your family. I mean, why would you want to, leave a job and start your own business so you could spend less time with your family? It just doesn't make sense. And it never made sense for me. So I do everything I can to spend more time with my family. And, I'll happily trade, a little bit of money to do that. I would have spent a lot of money if I could, if somebody else had created this software. So normally, the full retail price is $1,997 per year. But what we've done just for now, from until tomorrow night, I cut the price in half. It's $997 a year. That's about $80 a month. I didn't want to make it so cheap, and I really can't, because based on the amount of work we put in here, obviously, but the servers to collect 2.3 million products, a day, and process everything is very, very expensive, to say the least. So I've set the price somewhere where everybody can take advantage of it, where it's affordable enough that everybody could do it, but not cheap enough so every Amazon user is having it, because I think that could just be problematic. So you have two choices: do nothing and not take the leap of faith. Or the second option is pony up the small investment compared to all the value that you'll get in return. I mean, think about $80 a month, compared to even just getting one wholesale lead. I mean, just setting up an account with one company, can be life-changing. Some of these companies that we found, even if my software and Amazon is only showing you that they have 10 products, on Amazon, well, they're 10 products that are selling in the top 100,000. That company may have 100 or 500 different products that you can bring, that people are already buying the 10 or 20 or 50 or 100. And when you bring those other products, they're already searching for them. They're going to start buying those products as well. I mean, that's what common sense says, and that's what my experience shows. So, it's such a small amount to save you, countless time. So I'm nothing special. I'm pretty good with grammar, but not great. I don't have the best, people skills, but I can build good software. I know how to find products. I know how to find sources. I'm sure most of you are subscribed to, my lists or get my free list. That, I will find, the best products. So Oops. Where are we at here? So $9.97 a year, sourcingsecret.com. I'll leave that up here. I'll put it in the chat. And I'll add all you guys to the group. Anyone who wants to, they can get, we do live videos every time I add a new feature, and we add new features. If any of you guys are already in the group, we add new features every few days. Okay, so any questions? I've been kind of rambling on for almost an hour now. I can show you guys anything else you want to see, but you can sign up at app.sourcingsecret.com. My software doesn't have PayPal, but if you want to pay with PayPal, just shoot me a message and I can get you guys set up. As well as the training, it's all it's in the Facebook group, it's on YouTube. I see there's a couple questions in here. Is there a free trial before investing this amount? No, there are no free trials. We just have no way to do that. And from past experience, it just, most people just do the free trial. And, my other people that I've worked with have just used them to, all the users use them to scam us. And, I'm a small operation. I can't deal with that. But if you want a demo, if you want a live demo, you can book a free call with me. And I will go through one-on-one with you, anything you'd like to see. It does end at midnight tomorrow. So if you go to Sourcing Secret, there is a countdown timer so you can see how long. So we've got like 1 day and 3 hours. Anybody, shoot me a message on Facebook. I'm hard to miss on there. And I'd be happy to do calls with you. You can go to, I'll post a link in the chat, but it's book.shawnmayo.com, very easy to remember. And if you have a problem booking a call before, tomorrow, or I can even talk to you guys later on tonight, then, if it's a little after the deadline, I can always work with you on that. But go to book.shawnmayo.com, select the time. There's a little buffer, so select the 15-minute free call. And, if we need to go over that, it's usually fine unless I have like back-to-back calls. But I do have buffer set up, so I've made it, super simple. We'll do a screen share. We'll look at whatever you want. You want to download some samples, I'll download them and send them to you. I'm super open to that. It's just, we've had some nightmares with the free trials, and it really takes a lot of work to process each one of these every time you subscribe. So, I'm not trying to like rip anybody off, obviously. I showed you how everything works, but we'll, I'd be happy to go over anything with you, Ken. I think we've talked before, Ken, I'm not sure, but, if you just shoot me a message on Facebook, if you want, like, if you can't set up the call, or anybody else has any issues, or the times don't mesh for you, or I don't think it's available on the weekend, but if you want to do something on the weekend, that's fine as well. And Ken, yes, you need help setting up an online arbitrage system. Yeah, if you like tactical arbitrage, I've actually made a bunch of videos on doing that, but I can show you how to take those and use this software to do that. We personally use it. I have 2 tactical arbitrage accounts, and we use the product scan 24/7 on both of them, and we use reverse search with our lists. So I can definitely show you how we do that. We even have VAs that you can use us to process your leads your leads as well inside the tactical arbitrage. So AS, or I'm sorry, that's what it says up there. If you want some more in-depth questions answered, or you want to talk privately, like I said, I'm very open to that. Oops. I did post the wrong link in there. I'm sorry. You can go to sourcingsecret.com, and you can get your you can register there. Obviously, it takes a couple minutes to set up your account, and you'll be in. And then anybody who registers, I always suggest you guys set up a call, and then play around in there for a while, and then set up a call, and we'll go through what your business needs are, what your and set up some good tactics, and get your subscriptions going, and we can talk about how you want to do your VAs and all that. And if you're already a subscriber, then feel free to do one as well. If we haven't talked already, because I have a lot of ideas to do with things, and depending on how your business, you've structured your business, we can. I'm sure I can come up with a lot of great ideas that you're probably not thinking about. Okay, so we're an hour in. I don't want to waste any more of your time. Badra, talk to me on Facebook, and we'll talk about your issue, a process to enter VAs for initial screening using sourcing secrets. I made some videos on how we decide and pick things out, but if you need specific help with that, as I said, we're always there to help you guys out. And I'll send you guys the links and a replay of the video if you missed some of it. I know the numbers shot up like well into the video. So awesome, great. So we'll talk to you guys later, and we'll be shooting you an email with all the information. Same time the webinar started today. We'll get you a link to the video and all of that stuff, as well as links. And you got a little over a day. Tomorrow at midnight Eastern time. We're going to close it down and jack the price back up, but I hope you guys all get in on that deal. Thanks a lot. Good night.